Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of DSG Talks. So, I welcome all the people who are watching this episode right now, and it's one of the DSG Talks where we have the guest with us virtually. And before we begin the episode, I'd like to thank the people for how much we have grown this platform. That last three of our DSG Talks were all international. We had international guests with us from different parts of the world talking about different things. So today as well, I am talking on a very interesting topic, one which is very close to my heart, being related to combating climate change. So today we're talking about opting sustainable practices to combat climate change, and I have with myself Dr. Wesam from Saudi Arabia, who has ample experience in this field. He is the founder of Global Ambassadors of Sustainability, which I'd like to mention here is a platform with more than 13,000 members from 130 countries who are the people who promote sustainability, who talk about sustainability, of how it can help people in combating climate change and creating a better world. So Dr. Wesam has gone around the world studying, practicing sustainability, climate change, and whatnot. He has a fellowship from MIT, 18 years of experience, and he is a consultant. He has been consultant for UNICEF on different projects as well, and he is the co-founder of Middle East SDGs Academy as well. So without any delay, I'll hop into that topic and I'll have Dr. Wesam on board so that we can begin on the topic. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, hi. Okay, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this show. So thank you so much for your efforts and the invitation.
Thank you so much for taking up on the invitation. We are glad to have you here. Just telling the people that how you have done so much work on climate change, sustainability, and whatnot. So first of all, I'd like to talk about this initiative of yours that you're founder of, that is Global Ambassadors of Sustainability. So can you tell the audience a little about that?
Yeah, so again, thank you so much for the invitation. So it's my pleasure to be with you today. And, regarding the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability, so this initiative started in August 2020, right amid the pandemic, the COVID 19. So I was thinking with a few colleagues that we need to do something with our knowledge on sustainability and specifically on the environmental sustainability. So we thought that this program can help to promote sustainability, can contribute to building the capacities, especially the young generation, on sustainability. Because COVID-19 gave us a lot of signs that our lifestyle, it's not healthy, it's not sustainable, it is causing a lot of troubles, first for ourselves, because we are harming the environment, and that reflects on our health and even at the economical consequence as well. So we conducted several programs, capacity building programs, workshops, sharing sessions. And for the last 2 years, the initiative managed to attract more than 13,000 members from 130 countries. So we tried to provide kind of knowledge and also sharing sessions with experts from academia, from industry, and we provide recognition for those who attend these programs, and that will help them also in their profession, in the career development. And we continue our efforts, and the network is being expanded time by time and day by day. And the recent development which we started, it is the Middle East SDGs Academy, the academic platform for this initiative. And it is in collaboration with the American University in Dubai. And we hope that we will be able to conduct more programs more credible programs, which will again help those members and will also attract more people to the initiative, to the efforts. Because once you part of the community, so we are trying to provide all these knowledge so that we can transfer the knowledge to a practice that will contribute to the positive change in the global scale. Protecting the environment or talking about sustainability, it is kind of, I mean, it's not a serious thing. It's not a required thing. But if we are looking at the current scenario, so the issues of the pollution in general, and which led to the climate change and all these unsustainable practices, it is becoming a threat to the life of humanity. It is a big risk for the population, for the countries, and we've seen a lot of disasters, and there is a lot of numbers which shows that the trends of disaster, the climate linked disaster, is growing. And I think the most recent and the biggest disaster that we witness is the flooding in Pakistan. And those phenomena, those disasters that we are witnessing, it's causing a lot of fatalities, causing a lot of damages. And so it is becoming more urgent for us to change our practices to be more friendly to the environment, to be more sustainable, so that we can have a more peaceful and healthy environment. And it's not only, when we talk about sustainability concepts, so we are caring for the current generations, and also we are thinking about grandchildren in the future, that we have to leave this planet for them with the capacity of this planet, which can fulfill their needs in the future.
So we were talking about, you precisely mentioned the floods in Pakistan, and they were surely alarming, and they were surely a wake-up call for us as well. So when we talk about that, we personally have been promoting sustainable practices in Pakistan, and you have studied a lot about it. So one thing that I'd like to mention here to the people watching as well, and I'd like to discuss with you as well, is that Pakistan currently has a very small percentage of renewable energy in their overall energy mix. Like, we have a potential of 95%, but currently we have only tapped in the 5% of that. So what is your view on sustainable energy choices in terms of internationally as well, in countries like Pakistan, which are already not so developed, so they need to go for better options? So what's your take on sustainable energy choices?
The efforts to promote sustainability and transfer it into practice, that should start from the global scale to the local scale. Because the issue, it's a global. I mean, the emissions, the greenhouse gases, it's not only produced in Pakistan itself, and the effect, it is not local only as well. So the effort should be at the global scale. But unfortunately, we are witnessing a lot of conferences, a lot of talks, a lot of discussions, but on the ground, the efforts is still very limited. So the other point is that we need to figure out what is the most contributing source of emission, so that we can try to reduce or try to find alternative technologies which will be more environmental friendly. So talking about the energy itself, which is one of the sources, the main sources for releasing emissions and the greenhouse gases. So there are definitely challenges in each country, because is it all the people will afford to change to renewable energy? Is it at the household level? Is it they are capable of doing that? But if we talk about the government efforts, so that should be on a higher level, on a faster track, so that we have to have the agenda of green business and green projects at each activity that we are implementing, because we have to change our way of thinking. We don't have to think always about investing in environment or in environmental friendly technology as a loss, because we have seen that if we neglect the environment, if we are not willing to pay to protect the environment, we will pay that as health aspects for the health sector. We will pay that as damage from flooding. We will pay that as insurance companies in some countries, if you have all the assets being insured. So investing in those technologies that will protect the environment, will make the planet more green, that will save a lot of cost at the other side of the formula. So part of it, again, we have to focus on renewable energy, but we have to think about other options so that we can have an integrated approach for sustainability. So we are not only focusing on energy, because we might have maybe the transportation system is contributing more than energy, right? So we have to figure out which is the sector that contributing more. We have to implement initiative in each sector that can contribute positively to reducing of global the greenhouse gas, and that should be on the local, regional, and the global level, because the effects that we are seeing, it's not only in one locality. It is a consequence of all the all the emissions everywhere, and definitely we are talking about the big players in the global scale, the industrial nations who contribute hugely to the greenhouse gases. That's why we need an international effort, a global efforts, so that we can save the planet and we save ourselves as well.
I thoroughly agree about what you suggested that can be done to implement sustainable energy choices. And I'd also like to talk about that you mentioned an initiative of yours again also, which is Middle East SDGs Academy. So can you tell us a little about that as well?
Yeah, the when we start this initiative, the Global Ambassadors of Sustainability, so we conducted the programs, the training programs under different schemes in collaboration with universities in Malaysia, Indonesia, in Palestine, and with various academic institutions. That it is good to have kind of an academic institute which will be more specialized in training courses, in certified training courses, which will help to spread and share the knowledge in faster and credible. And we chose to do that as was a center in the Middle East, since the the players and some of the academic institutes, they are interested to have this initiative centered in the Middle East as a global center for sustainability. And the academy started providing the course of certified sustainability officer, which is more relevant to the companies and institutes, because currently most of the, if we are talking about organizations, they employ a sustainability officer to look into all the sustainability kind of activities in their organization. So this course will provide the relevant knowledge for those officers, so that will be able to perform their jobs, in kind of a credible way.
So will these certifications be available for everyone? anyone can opt for them, or does there need to be any prerequisite, their basic education skill level, or are they open to everyone?
Yeah, actually, when we offer these programs, we promote them with through the network, and through the network, we reach to more people. So yeah, it is open for, because the idea is, even since we started the initiative, the idea is to provide knowledge for anyone who is interested to learn about sustainability. We don't have to put too many restrictions and requirements, because we aim to bring as more people as we can to the initiative, to these efforts. So even though if they don't have enough knowledge, they will start learning. So you get them engaged in the learning process. And we are not talking about master program or PhD program. It's a training program. So whether you are having a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, or you don't have knowledge, so that just to motivate people. And I think a lot of people realize that they are getting knowledge, they are getting incredible knowledge, and they are getting recognized as well. And that helps a lot of people, because I see the progress after people attending these training courses. They start implementing some projects at their organization level. And it is kind of an empowerment course for these people. And we are happy to do that, because we are kind of optimizing our resources and building on the academic networks that we are. And a lot of people would like to contribute their knowledge, and that makes things easier for us to run the projects with. For that last 2 years, we did that on zero cost. Everything is provided for free.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Really good to know about it. So, Dr. Wesam, it has been a pleasure to have you here on DSG Talk. And lastly, I'll have a concluding question. Obviously, we'll have to talk about lots of areas of climate change. If we sit down, we'll definitely bother you for another session again sometime. But lastly, I'll ask you that if you can name one issue that is the biggest source of the climate change right now globally, what would that be, and what would you suggest to the people watching, that what we can do from our end to make some change, to do some difference, to help to leave a better earth for our coming generations? So what's your take on that?
So, if we want to focus the discussion around, definitely the hot topic and the hot issue currently is climate change. So, we have to look into the efforts being done by the community, by the individuals, and by companies, by the governments. So, everyone has a role to play. At the individual level, if we are kind of looking into what are the aspects of pollution. So we are talking about waste, we are talking about transport, we are talking about consumptions of materials. So if we change our consumption style to be more sustainable in terms of reducing waste, reducing our emission, are utilizing the transport, means we have to utilize and use more public transports. And here come the role of the government to provide affordable and accessible and convenient public transport. And talking about the companies and institutes, so they have to look into all their activities of doing business. It has to be green. They have to study, they have to investigate the environmental impact of each activity, and they have to develop mitigation plan for these environmental impacts, talking about air pollution, water pollution, talking about waste. So adopting strategies to reduce the waste at the household or the companies, or at the local, the national level or global. So we have to adopt more practices of recycling and reuse and recovery, so that we don't produce more waste that will need to be processed, will need to be sent to the landfills, and the landfills need more lands, which in some areas and some countries it is scarce. So it is an integrated effort, and I think in terms of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, it's stressed on partnership and collaboration in SDG number 17. So no one can be or can create this sustainable practice alone. So it has to be done in integrated approach. The individuals, the community, with the local organizations, with the government, and with the international organizations, if you want to have a bigger impact on the local and the global scale.
Very rightly said, sir. So I hope for all the people watching, there have been some takeaway point. And as he mentioned that alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much. So thank you so much, sir, for being here with us today. And your contributions to the climate change overall globally are very well appreciated by DSG Energy. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for your efforts as well.